Majestic Loons. My name is Greg, and I am here to preview Minnesota United versus Seattle Sounders Saturday, September 11th at Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington, with a scheduled kickoff of 4 p.m. Central, probably more likely maybe close to 4:08, 4:10-ish. Both clubs, we both had a kind of a break during this past international break, which I think is good. At least is good for Minnesota, being with kind of the injuries we had, and kind of I think we had some time, let some guys get time off. Like I think Unu, and I know he went back to France for a bit. You had Romain was in the qualifiers with Madagascar. You had Yuka Raitala, in qualifiers with Finland. Jan Gregus nor Robin Lod, they did not get called up. So I think that's something very, I think good for both especially for Minnesota. Our Minnesota's previous game was a 2-1 comeback win over the Houston Dynamo, thanks to a Adrian Unu brace, which hopefully that's a confidence booster after him having a little bit of a scoring drought. And Seattle are coming off of a 2-0 loss to their Cascadia rivals Portland at home. So I think Seattle is going to kind of be out, kind of try to get back into the groove, after losing to their closest rivals at home. But I know I think recently, I think Portland's kind of gotten the better of Seattle in Seattle. So that's definitely something. Minnesota, we've already played Seattle twice this season. Of course, the infamous rematch of the Western Conference Final from last season as the first game of the season, where we lost 4-0. I think we went in at halftime 0-0, and then second half we kind of just crapped out, and then played them, and then we beat them 1-0 at Allianz Field to be the first team to beat them this season. So that's kind of good as far as, but it's Seattle, so it's going to be a tough game, and also playing in Seattle is a very hard place to play. We also know the talent they have on their team. They have the likes of Nicholas Ladero, Christian Roldan, Raul Diaz, plenty more that But I think those three are coming off, and definitely something that we need to keep an eye out for with that. Coached by Brian Smeltzer, who I think is kind of I think he's really kind of starting to, or basically making kind of this Seattle Sounders team kind of a dynasty in a way of every season of them becoming really, really good. And it's definitely something you got to look out for. And interesting, and he kind of switched out this season, kind of starting with a three at the back, which kind of sometimes in MLS you kind of really don't maybe see that often as you do in Europe. So they've been lining up in a 3-4-2-1, or sometimes they've done like I believe like a 3-5-2. But I think since Ladero has been back, I think they might go maybe like a 3-4-2-1 with the two maybe being like Rodan and Ladero, and Raul Diaz up front. So like I said, we know how lethal their attack is, and their defense is really good. But I think the Stephen Fry, their goalkeeper, I think he's still out with an injury. But I think Cleveland, who kind of has deputized for them, I think he's done really really well. So that's something really good. On Minnesota news, Franco Fragapane, he's been training for more than a week, so he should be good to go. Um, it's nice to have him back. After his fast start with Minnesota kind of in his first few games, and and then to come out with an injury, lay off that this bad, and so hopefully maybe you can hit the ground running. Hansen, Lud, and Reynoso are questionable for this weekend, but there's more. They're probably will be involved at some stage with us playing Sporting Kansas City in Kansas City and the LA Galaxy next Saturday. So that's good to get kind of we get our strongest 11. Metnair is arriving back. I believe he arrived back Thursday, which the I'm recording this was yesterday from his World Cup qualifiers with Madagascar. I believe they lost two of them. I think I forget what the third. I knew they lost to like Tanzania. I forgot who else they lost to, but Minnesota will assess his situation today to see if he's available to play. If not, DJ Taylor I think is the kind of the next man up, and I mean not to kind of talk down about DJ, but I think as far as more, I think DJ Taylor kind of is more. I think he's better defensively than he is going forward, but I think that's something that he's definitely, I think, learning, come doing, and so that's something I'm definitely, in the future, because I know Matt Nair is, kind of, I think he's like 30, and kind of getting up, there, and up there in age, and maybe somebody like a DJ Taylor would step into that role, because I think when we signed him, they said that he was really really good defense. His defense, he's pretty solid defensively, but attacking is something he needs to work on. So I definitely think that's positive. So yeah, and it'll be good to have Luden. Like I said, it'd be good to have Luden, Reynoso, close to coming back, and being involved at some point, with us playing Sporting Kansas City, kind of a rivalry, at least. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's just a Americanized version of a derby, and kind of like maybe an Americanized version of. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this idea, but it will just be good to be back, have them involved at some stage against Sporting Kansas City and LA Galaxy. There's a good. So I am going to jump into my starting 11. I am going with depending on, I'm gonna just maybe start Reynoso on the bench. So I'm in between the sticks. I'm going with Tyler Miller. I mean, I've said this every video, but He's kept us in games he's kept us in games this season with quality saves, and when our defense has kind of been you know iffy at times, and it's definitely something do we something in the future when we have two really good, I think two quality good keepers, and Miller and St. Clair. So that'll definitely, I think, I might just make a video. I think I've said that in the past, but I just might make a good long dialogue. It's for do we go rely on Tyler Miller, or do we go with Dane uh for maybe next season. For my defense, I'm going with Mentonier, Michael Boxall, Bakaidi Bassi, and Chase Gasper. I think that's our strongest defensive lineup. It was announced yesterday that Boxall signed a new 2-year deal, which I think is really good. Really good. I think I mean, it's got to be said. I think in the absence of Iko Para, I think he's kind of taken on that. I mean, not to say I mean, Iko Para is in a as far as I think the quality he did, and and throughout his time, in between when he was at Sporting Kansas City in Minnesota. I think it's definitely something that we're I think was one of the best I think the best defender in the league for 2, 3, 4 years. And then DiBiase is back from suspension, and Gasper, I think really good, and I think he's definitely doing. And then for my midfield 3, I'm going with Will Trapp, Ozzy Alonso, and Hassani Dotson. Trapp, I think he was is almost kind of an amazing pickup on a free, as kind of as another really good player, kind of six, kind of playing that Ozzy is. Ozzy is, I think 35, and nearing the end of his career. I definitely think that was a quality, and I think he can also play a good I think he can also play he's good at midfield roles, not just can't just play the 6. And then I think, I mean, if this is gonna be Ozzy's last season as a professional, I think even, I mean, I don't know if you sub him on, or you start him, but at least give him a cameo at least one last time in Seattle, the club where on it, where he he's a club legend. I remember, I think I went to like one game, I think one of the games in at Seattle at Allianz Field, and when they announced Ozzy Alonso, like you could you didn't hear the Seattle fans clapping and chanting when they were announcing Ozzy, and then Hassani Dotson, I think he's really grown, and now that he's starting to really being played in his natural position that we drafted him. Not to say when he kind of broke came in, we kind of was playing him at fullback, kind of when Metner, I think was Metner, or I think it was Gasper was like injured kind of early in his first season, so playing fullback. But I think I think he really has quality, and he always has his chances of hitting quote unquote bangers. I'm going with a my front kind of 3. I'm going with Ethan Finley, Adrian Unu, and I think you just go in and do Fragapane Finley. He's been a great player. I think he's from what I've heard, an incredible leader, a model professional, and works hard, in training, and I think as everybody, you want to aspire to be, in the starting, be, in starting 11, and with Lude, I think maybe Finley, or I think he might I could I don't know between I definitely think Lude is definitely our starter on the right, and it's kind of hard. Do you put Hansen, or do you put Ethan Finley for kind of backup, and then in that kind of striker role, I think you got Adrian Unu, like I said, must have has a huge boost of confidence after his brace against Houston, which is like I said, they've kind of a long scoring drought, and just just the general Minnesota scoring drought with that. So I think, and then on the left, I think you put Fragapane back in. It's definitely good. Like I said, it's good to have him back after I think a long layoff. I think they initially said like he was maybe going to be out like a month. I think that's what they initially said, but with the start he had, minus the I don't even know why I'm gonna reference it, but hopefully it can come back and take and kind of start off right where he left off, kind of in form. So I'm going with my my match. As I don't like to give like score lines as far as that, but I am hopeful for a win, but honestly, a draw would be good, or with that. Also I think like I said, keep the games, keep their attack, kind of nullify their attack, but at the same time, take advantage of our chances that we create. And I know kind of we create a lot of chances. We just really have a problem with finishing them. So that's definitely something that I think I've said every single video, and I think we're one of the worst teams in the league as far as converting chances. So I'm just hoping for that. That's really it. Make sure to leave a like, comment your prediction for the game. Keys to the game, starting 11, match prediction. Make sure to share this video, and make sure to subscribe. And come on, you loons.